Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women. That is good. That is good.
Remember, I always listen to Conan. He knows what's up. All right. And that's been kind of we got me and Jeff are here, Adamantium Comic Collectibles. And he has this thing says, do or do not. There is no try. And in honor of that, I didn't know you still had that up there. In honor, it was yesterday, but we'll play it again.
All right, I'll give it a try.
No. Try not. Do. Or do not. There is no try.
That's right, Yoda. Right. That's right.
Yoda knows what he's talking about. So today, we're here to talk another episode of Bad Cinema. And I don't know if you could tell from the background, but in today's episode, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite B movies from the 80s, Ninja 3, The Domination. To do a bow to everybody. And remember, you have to keep this in mind. Whenever you're facing a ninja, you better go get some help because only a ninja can destroy a ninja. So better have your chi centered like Iron Fist before you ever face down because they're pretty tough dudes. They're almost mythological. Hey, Boggs. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, Boggs? Yeah, they can climb trees and come out of the shadows, and they got little smoke bombs and they disappear, and the all famous ninja star.
Yeah. Well, that one guy, I remember Ninja in American Ninja, he had a arm laser and a flamethrower. He had all kinds of crazy stuff, man. You know what I mean? And okay, we're going to play the trailer. Let me present the screen here. Madam's had a doctor's appointment. She said if she can be back by the time, but she's probably not going to make it today. But she will be here Thursday when we talk about Apocalypse Now. So,
Vox, you got to look at this face instead.
That's good. All right, let me find this trailer. I downloaded it. That's right. I know we're not as pretty as she is, but we'll have to be a decent stand-in because I don't know what we can do about it. All right. Let's see here if we can get this to work. All right.
Got to get them hamsters running in that wheel. I don't know what the audience is seeing. What are you seeing, Boggs? I think he froze a little bit. He might have to jump back out and jump back in. He's probably going to talk about it, but the famous, semi-famous Lucinda Dickey stars in Ninja 3, The Domination. I think her most popular, her biggest movie, I guess you would say, was the breaking movies, breakdancing, Breakin' and Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo. I'm sure Matt's going to talk about it when he pops back in at some point. But I watched Ninja 3 last night, and it's a fun watch. It was one of those, Blockbuster Video covers that you're 11 years old and you're into kung fu and ninjas, and you walk by, you look at the cover, and you see ninja in the title, and you're like, "Yep, I'll take it." The guy, the evil ninja or the villain in the movie, is played by a guy who's actually he's world known. You know, I guess you'd call him a B actor, but I don't know. He might deserve A status to me. But his name is Sho Kasugi. And if you see on Matt's picture for Bad Cinema, that's the guy with the eye patch on.
Yeah, that happened.
Are you back?
So that happened.
Okay. I'm not sure.
Let's try that one more time and see if StreamYard. My internet's not entirely great.
I'm not sure what the audience saw. I saw the YouTube thing come up. I don't know if the clip played, but you disappeared for a second, and I was just talking about.
We're going to do it again because.
Okay. Hey, we'll build it while we fly it, brother.
We're going to just watch it again because it just screwed up completely. Now I got to make sure I'm still on screen though, because it keeps kicking me out. All right.
Here we go.
All right. Let's see if I can play it from here. Right up, switch sides. So here's the trailer. Let me push play, and then I'll come back.
Who break innocent woman and transforms her into a lethal assassin.
Some of the stunts in this movie are insane, by the way.
Yeah.
I want help.
It's playing on my end, but kind of choppy.
The ninja can destroy a ninja. Her only hope is Yamada, the master ninja. Where revenge
Did it freeze you out again? Yeah, it looks like he got froze out because he tried to play that YouTube clip again. His computer was not happy with that. Yeah, but I was talking about Sho Kasugi. That guy's been in like B movie after B movie, action movie after action movie after action movie. He's been in a lot of stuff. I was just talking about Sho Kasugi.
Sho Kasugi.
Yeah. Oh, is it Kasugi?
Yeah, he's a good dude. He's
he's been in a lot of stuff.
He's a badass dude. I'm going to read the cast list. I can't. I'm struggling right now. I don't know what's wrong with my connection. I can't get anything to work. All right, then through the domination is. I'm not going to share it because it's not no point.
Yeah,
Sho
just
Kasugi.
I get kind of.
It's directed by. Can you see me? Am I okay?
Yeah, I can see. I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I can hear you.
Okay, I'm trying to get this. Okay, this movie was made in 1984, martial arts action horror film. It's kind of like Revenge of the Ninja meets The Exorcist in a way. It's directed by a guy named Sam Firstberg, and it stars Sho Kasugi, Lucinda Dickey, who of course, Sho Kasugi was in Enter the Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja, Return of the Ninja. He was in a whole lot of ninja movies. He was in remember in the Ninja Assassin, he was like the old ninja. They
Yeah.
made that movie in the 2000s. It's called Ninja Assassin. He was in. Yeah, that's a really good movie. It's also got Jordan Bennett plays the police officer and love interest of Lucinda Dickey. And Lucinda Dickey, hey Aaron, Lucinda Dickey was in Breaking and Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo, and in what was the one you said, Cheerleader Camp?
Yeah, Cheerleader Camp. I watched Ninja 3: The Domination last night, and then
And also, you know who else is in this movie? James Hong. Now,
James
if the name
Hong.
doesn't, yeah, if the name not sound familiar, he was the
Look him
guy.
up.
Yeah, he was in and he was also Lo Pan in Big Trouble in Little China. And also James Hong was in Blade Runner. He was in a lot of shows though, actually. And this is an anthology series. And so the character Christy Ryder, that's a real genius name, is played by Lucinda Dickey. The vivacious and hot. I think she's very hot.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of people, and I think Okuda is Dale Ishimito is the evil ninja guy at the first of it. So like, let me go back over here, see if I can get back in here. All right. Oh, you had seen it, Aaron? Cool. Yeah, the beginning. Okay, you start out and it's got this ninja guy. He goes into he goes into like a cave, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he opens it up and he's got all his weapons in there and ninja gadgets, and he puts on his green. He's like a green ninja suit.
He's got all the goodies.
He's like an assassin. He goes to I guess he's like, I don't know who he's trying to kill, but must have been some kind of like executive or something. They're out there.
It was supposed to be a very important scientist who was apparently playing golf that day with his blonde, bubbly companion.
Yeah. She looked like I think she might have been from like adult films. It was just face it. She had a pretty large rack. But anyway, so he's out there with all his bodyguards playing golf, and here comes the ninja, and he basically just takes them all apart. Right? Then he tries to get away with his girlfriend on the golf cart, and he lifts it up by the end, and like they can't go. He tells her to run. He even kills the girl. Like, I don't know why. I guess he's just a dick. I was like, because nobody can see his face. I don't know why he had to kill her. It seemed unnecessary. I don't know. I mean, anyway, he kills the guy, obviously. So then the LAPD, it takes place in Los Angeles. So they call the LAPD, and the LAPD comes in force because, this guy's been killed on the golf course, and he just starts dismantling these guys. Like, he could not be stopped, Aaron. Absolutely right. He does this at one point, and I'll show some screenshots while we're talking. He flips over on top of a police car, stabs the guy right through the roof, kills both those guys. He's got all these blow darts. Then he climbs a tree, a big giant palm tree. You know how big these palm trees are in Southern California. He climbs up there, and this helicopter's roving around looking for him. He jumps onto the helicopter, climbs in, and just kills every one of them. You got cars flying. Some of the stunts in this movie, especially in the first 5 minutes, are insane. I don't know how somebody didn't get hurt.
So I got to ask you, Matt. We both kind of grew up in the same genre. When we were that age and we were, renting this movie from Blockbuster or wherever, this thing started out with a bang. Like, it started out action.
Yeah.
Like,
whoa,
big fight scene on the golf course, and this ninja is just dropping people.
And he's throwing ninja stars. He's got those spikes, blow darts. He's got a bow and arrow, using swords and even his bare hands. And he's like, finally, So I guess that they go into the helicopter. Man. Did they really crash a helicopter in this movie?
I doubt it, because the helicopter goes over the
okay, yeah, you're right.
Then you see
he jumps off into but somebody jumped off the helicopter into this pond on the golf course, which I don't know how they didn't bust their ass when they did that. And then you have the cruiser that goes in the pond. It doesn't just go in and land flat. It goes like this like at an angle, like you see it in the trailer. It's like, I'm like, that had to hurt somebody. There probably somebody, I don't know if somebody was in that or not. They may, you know what they may have done? They may have been a dummy in it. And I've seen this done before. They'll tie like a belt or something to the steering wheel.
Yeah.
And they'll rev it up, and then they'll put it in gear while the engine's running. And they probably have a ramp or something, so it would go straight.
And did you notice the trunk lid was open?
Yeah.
Because when you go off a ramp into a lake, the trunk lid opens.
It pops. Yeah. I was like, but like some of the stuff they did with the helicopter was kind of dangerous. They probably shouldn't have been flying that close to like palm trees like that. But I'll tell you what, the stuntmen in the 80s and 70s, they were a different breed, Jeff. I've seen some movies where I don't know how people didn't die. Like and it's like how it kind of happens in Cannon films. Their explosions are extra big. The stunts are wild. Like, remember in American Ninja when Joe was supposed to be jumping that bike over the ramp, over the fence of the military base? Dude, that whoever was on that bike, they had to be sore for a week. Because, like, that bike comes in hard. And I was like, yeah, that bike, they must have had like 4 or 5 of those same bikes because that bike was no more after that. There's no way. It looked like it bent the handlebars and everything. Actually, I've been I wrecked a 4-wheeler like that one time. So bad we bent the handlebars and had to my dad had to bend them back into place. But
the cops in that scene were hilarious, man. When the ninja jumps on top of the police cruiser, and the driver cop looks at his buddy who's got a shotgun. He's like, "Blow him away" or something like that. So he racks the shotgun and just goes boom right through the roof. Inside of a police car, if you do that,
would bust your eardrum.
Both your eardrums.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh my! You wouldn't hear for a while.
No way. So anyway, he's getting shot. They finally corner him, right, and they're getting some shots in after he's taking them out while he's taking people down with him. And they finally he does this weird trick. He disappears under the ground. And they think he's gone. He throws that smoke. Yeah, he throws that smoke, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Where's he at?" And then he comes back. He burrows up out of the ground like he's like one of those sandworms and tremors. And he kind of limps off. And then you see Lucinda Dickey is a line. She's a line woman. Here you go. This is on the golf course when he's just taking these people apart. Yeah. And so she's like a line woman, I guess. Here, let's show some clips, like some little shots. Here he is, on the golf course. Yeah, she's climbing the telephone pole. She's a line, not a line man. She's a line woman, I guess you could say.
With the old school.
And she's getting ready to go check the telephone line. Yeah. And she goes up there, and you know what they probably did? They probably had her on a bucket or something because they only shot her from here up there because she's not going to. They're not going to let her do that.
No
she couldn't do it. And she sees this guy staggering around. It was the ninja, and she goes down to check on it. Which she probably should have stayed where she was at. But it would have been a short move she had. She runs into him, and he startles her. Then he kind of, I guess, does some kind of ninja mojo on her to bring her to come back because she's going to run away. And she goes back to him, and he's gets her to hold the sword. I got a clip of it. Oh, here you go. I got a screenshot of it. And he chants something in Japanese and then dies. He just passes away. And then, so the police show up. She's like, well, I don't know. This guy was, she tells them the truth. She didn't really remember anything. Although, I guess where she was hypnotized, she took the sword and put it in her truck. But it was weird though, because you think the police would have searched her truck just as a procedure, right? So there's a plot hole right there because police usually have to, even if they don't think she's involved, they may say, "Were you collaborating with this guy? Were you his ride?" Yeah. I'm not a police officer, but you know what I'm saying. You were the police, so you know what I'm saying. I think that's what they would have done.
What they do with police in Hollywood is good comedy. It's really good comedy.
Yeah, I know.
Like when the ninja is on the golf course and he starts, slashing people up. They call the police and the dispatcher comes over the radio and goes, "We got a 451 at the golf course, and 451 in California is arson." Like 451, you're a little bit off there, sweetheart, but all right.
So they were just like making up like numbers, like they could have said anything. We got a 457. When they say we got a 187 at the golf course or something?
No, it's 451.
Okay,
and
I mean,
I don't know why they called that out. And then the helicopter guy said, "All right, we're on scene and we got a 1020. 1020 is what's your location?"
oh,
So just for somebody who actually was a cop, it's fun to watch. It's fun to hear him talk.
wouldn't they have said something more like we have eyes on the scene now or something? Or like
Yeah,
the
helicopter.
Like yeah, I mean, it would have been more believable. I think they were just throwing out jargon there because they probably saw it in an episode of Dragnet or something.
Yeah, and most people don't know.
You know, right? Yeah. Well, I mean, that's right. I didn't know. You told me. I mean, I didn't know that exactly, but I did know that they probably would have like interrogated her a little bit harder than they did, and probably would have searched her truck. But, because everybody, you don't know who it is at this point. This suspect took all these people. You don't know if he's had accomplices or not, right? I mean, because basically this is almost like a mass, except he didn't use a gun, but it's almost like the scene of a mass shooting or something.
It's a mass murder.
Like massacred people. Yeah, he's killed like 30. I mean, how many police officers did he kill?
That had to be at least 10, 11, 12.
At least 10. And then if you count all the bodyguards and the scientists and his girlfriend, he's killed at least 15, 16 people already.
Yeah, that would have been a man.
Like, this guy's got to be like, I mean, and I don't think that a smoke bomb and just disappeared. I think they would have stayed there because he couldn't have got far. They were surrounding him. And they're just like, okay, he's gone. And then they leave him there to like come back out of the ground. And I just don't understand that, but that's just me.
And how did he dig so fast?
I don't know. He was deep down there too. He must have like done the.
Yeah, he was
like. Was he like Superman? He did like that. You know how Superman, like when he went into Lex Luthor's lair in the original Superman movie.
Yeah,
he does that spin and goes down. He must have done that like Superman. Like this guy's like a super god.
The human.
He's using black magic or something. So what they're trying to do is, if you don't realize in the 80s, two tropes they always use when ninjas work. Ninjas in the daytime, which is not really what they did. Ninjas don't sneak around in the daytime. And I also get the feeling that this ninja, if he was a master assassin, couldn't he have like figured out like a different time to do this? Like where you'd have to go and take on the entire LAPD and all these bodyguards. Couldn't he have like snuck into his house and killed him?
Yeah, exactly.
Why maybe the person that wanted him dead was like, I guess we need to do it in public as intimidate. I don't know.
They need to send a message.
But yeah, they're going to send a message. Yeah, well, they sent one. It was a clusterfuck. Yeah, okay. Yeah, someone's demon spirit and transfer. Yeah, he transfers in her consciousness, but she doesn't know that yet. So, like another problematic thing, we'll call this a problematic thing that it's kind of creepy, and I don't think, like you were talking about earlier, I don't think the police force would probably frown on like the way this guy's relentlessly, not just like he wasn't just flirting with this woman, he was like harassing her. He was like relentlessly after her. I got a picture of him here. And I mean, it's kind of uncomfortable to watch. Like when you're a kid, you think, oh no, that's how you get women, right? Guys out there, young guys, don't act like this dude, because this is not like Hollywood does not show you. And look, this guy could have played Wolverine in the 80s. Look how hairy he is. No offense, but I mean, I guess hair was in, but he's got it on his arms, his back. I just don't see how Lucinda Dickey would like fall for this guy. I'm just saying. Anyway, he's like relentlessly pursuing this girl. Follows her. Doesn't he follow her? He follows her to her aerobics. She's an aerobics instructor in the part time. Follows her to her aerobics class and just kind of sneaks in the back. This dude's a creeper, that's for sure. But we get a nice, glorious aerobic exercise outfit with these girls. There he is in the back trying to keep up. Thankfully, he's got a long sleeve shirt on. But you see the
Yeah.
wonderful Lucinda Dickey, she was in really good shape back then. She was in the Breaking movie, so she kind of had a dancing background anyway. And she's easy on
interesting.
the eyes. You got it.
Interesting side note on Lucinda Dickey. She used to be a solid gold dancer.
Yeah,
I don't know if you knew that.
I think I'd heard that. Yeah, so she had a dance background. You could tell she's got a very athletic. I guess we're getting kind of creepy here, but she's got a very athletic body. Here's another one, and I think they just did this so we could see all the girls in their little
Yes.
skimpy leotards, and
Bending
especially
over.
Lucinda Dickey, who's a beauty. I loved her in Breaking. So anyway, as we go on, so I don't know how this guy. I mean, because he was a real creeper. He seems to win her over, and I don't know how she could do way better. Let's just be honest, right?
He was smooth.
But
So smooth.
they get back to her apartment, and I tell you what, when I was a kid, I thought that everybody in big cities lived in a big loft apartment in an old warehouse like she did. She's got like a video game, she's got like an arcade in there, she got all this cool shit, and this woman works for the telephone company. How does she afford to live in downtown Los Angeles in this big loft apartment in the warehouse district? Is beyond me. But it's like Friends too. Yeah, how do these girls and Friends, like, how do they have this nice apartment in the middle of Manhattan? It's the same, it's a trope. Yeah.
They're all
and she breaks out. Like she doesn't break out the whipped cream. She breaks out the V8 juice.
Yeah, this is the scene where he finally seduces her, right?
Yeah,
and so they're starting to get hot and heavy.
And he's got to lick the V8 juice. I'm like, why didn't you pick whipped cream? So I get it. She's an aerobics instructor, and she's trying to stay fit. But you could have done better than that, Lucinda. I don't think that was her idea, by the way.
I don't think so either.
I think it was some man there that thought it was going to be like, yeah.
I mean, really, who made that call? Hey, so what are we going to do with this scene and make it real spicy? Usually, it's like an ice cube or a strawberry or something.
Yeah,
something chocolate syrup, whipped cream. Who was the guy that said, "Hey, get that can of V8"? No,
that'll be brilliant. Brilliant. Well, anyway, the first time you get an indication that something's different about her is though, and like, here's another part. I know this guy's off duty, but she walks outside of the aerobics class, the building, and all these guys are harassing this poor female out there. And she's like, leave him alone. And he's just sitting there watching them pick on Lucinda and this other girl. And they find out that maybe something's happened to Lucinda. She can handle herself now. She tears these dudes apart. And he just stands back there and watches. Or am I remembering this wrong? I think that's what he did. I just thought it was.
Yeah, these guys.
And then he arrests her.
Right. Takes her to the station. Yeah. Yeah, he's a premium level cop, real high level cop.
Oh yeah. It's a real super cop here. Yeah. So anyway, I think she goes back home, and here's like the freaky stuff starts happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
She showed him the sword. By the way, also, this guy's a police officer. He's in her apartment and shows him this old sword. And they just have a ninja. They just shot a ninja, for God's sakes. The guy was using a ninja sword. They saw him use a sword. And he says, oh yeah, this is the old thing I found. I don't know. He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
He didn't go, wait a minute, why do you got the fucking katana in there? This guy used a katana to kill half my fucking buddies.
Yeah, 1 + 1 is.
He didn't put 2 and 2 together at all, did he?
Oh, you're really pretty. Where's that can of V8?
Yeah. Plot. There's plot holes, but this movie's still fun though. If they took her in, then that movie would have been over. I don't know. Maybe the ninja of possessing her could have like broke out. I don't know. But anyway, she's home alone finally, and he's not there. And the closet lights up, right? And you see it like shaking, and then it opens up, and then the ninja sword like just floats out, and she's just like reaching for it. I used to love those paintings, by the way, with the
Oh, those
Like those old prints like that with a girl with sunglasses on. That's so 80s. That's so 80s. I need to get one of those. That would look cool behind me.
Her whole apartment is 80s, man.
So then we get to another problematic thing. They do something to her eye makeup to make her look like she's Asian. And this is kind of all kinds of wrong in my opinion, but whatever.
To me, it
you can
puts
tell
off
it's what they did.
Like Asian demon kind of look or something. I don't know.
Yeah. She almost looks like one of those kabuki girls, kind of.
Yeah.
That or something. I don't know, or like something out of a Peach Momoko painting, I guess. Anyway, so this ninja, the reason he possesses her is he wants to get revenge. You know what? I don't even think you could have got away with what he was doing back then. I think that if one of his COs or something had found out what he did and followed her home, he would have probably been on suspension or been reprimanded pretty bad. I mean, even back then, to be honest, I mean, I don't know, but
he would not have finished his shift. He would have got a call over the radio to go see the sergeant at the station. And the sergeant would have said, "Hey, go on upstairs to the IA guys. You got an interview to take care of."
Yeah,
Internal Affairs is IA.
Yeah, I know. I do know that.
Reader?
Hey, Damien. So, so he's the reason he possesses her body, you'll find out quickly, is because he wants to live on through her, but also he wants to get revenge on all these officers that shot him, because she keeps having these visions, right? And all you see is the police, like all the ones that were shooting with shotguns and pistols and machine guns. And
I love the one cop.
She starts systematically.
He's got the cigar hanging out of his mouth while he's on duty. That was awesome.
Yeah, I know. I don't think that. I think that would be frowned on too. But she goes and starts killing these guys one by one, and we get her in a pretty sexy bathing suit, getting in a hot tub, and she has some kind of ring with a needle on it. I guess it's going to poison him, and she hits him in the back with it, and you know what? The guy wasn't a looker. I don't know why he wouldn't put two together. You know what? I don't think this girl. Why is she in here with me? But that's what I'd have done. I don't have enough confidence with women, though. I've been like, yeah, something's up. I'm like, I don't know about this. She's probably going to ask me for money or something.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so, and then doesn't she do like he's with her or something? She goes crazy around him, and she's got the sword. She wakes up and she's got bruises, or she's kind of bloody, and she sees his sword, right? And but then she tries to kill him at some point, right? And he's so in love with her, he doesn't really try to
he decides
run
not
her down
to
or nothing like that, or oh no. Yeah. He decides not to report any of it.
Yeah, good cop.
And here she is in her little. Was this in her ninja coat? No, that's when. Well, she is very pretty though, isn't she? All right. I'm very distracted by her beauty right now. Anyway,
in the first couple times,
so then you get the guy.
The first couple times she goes out and gets some revenge, it's like she doesn't remember it, like she wakes up and is like, what happened? You know what I mean?
Hey Jay, how you doing? It's like, okay, so then he's like, okay, we're gonna get you help. I don't know what led him. I can't remember exactly what led them to the guy that played Lopan. What's his name again?
David Hong or James
Wong. I think it's James Wong, right?
Hong H.
Yeah, James Hong. That's right, James Hong. And so it leads him to this guy, played by James Hong, like a mystic, I guess, whatever. And he's Asian. And although I think James Hong was Chinese, but I don't know. But I thought he was.
I don't know for sure.
I think he's Chinese. Yeah, he was in Big Trouble in Little China.
I think Hong.
He should. I think he is. I have to look it up. But anyway, he's had a long, long career. By the way, he's been in so many movies.
Yeah.
And he was a good actor. Back in the day, they didn't really cast a lot of Asian people. So he was one of the go-to guys they would call in if they needed a Chinese guy or something for a movie.
Him, Sho Kasugi. I can't.
And the young guy that was in Big Trouble in Little China, he was always in movies too.
Yeah.
Oh, Jay said he went to a high class wine place and now he's hungover. $21 for a glass of port. Sounds good though.
Does that come with a date or something?
So anyway, yeah, they tie her up to this thing, and he's like, does something. She like blows some mist out at him, and like the guy's like, help her. Like you see it in the trailer, right? He's like, only a ninja can destroy a ninja, and you get our famous line of the movie that they use a lot, So I found a little meme up just for the fun of it. It says only a ninja.
So that was her. That was her exorcism scene. So they kind of ripped off.
Yeah. So then Shoasugi shows up. Well, he shows up a little earlier than that. Like he goes in like this Shaolin temple or someplace. I don't know where it is. He just kicks the living shit out of these dudes with these big like staff weapons and stuff. And that was awesome. So he's like sitting here. He's like, he knows this ninja. He was like after this guy anyway. So see, like Shoasugi's like he's like a top class ninja too. He knows this guy's went to the dark side. He's using his powers for evil. And he's got the Shoasugi here. He's got like a cool eye patch. He just looks like a real badass in this movie. Like here he is.
He was like playing.
Come on, show.
He was like the James Bond of ninja.
Yeah. This guy is like the pinnacle of like a ninja on a movie. And so he comes in and he tells like her boyfriend, look, I can stop him, but we're gonna have to like because he fights her at one time and like he pulls he's getting ready to kill her and he pulls the shroud off and realizes it's a woman. He doesn't recognize her. Like, why is this woman over here beating the shit out of him? So they exorcise the demon out of her, or the spirit of this evil ninja. And here's a scene where he's fighting her, where he's blocking the sword.
I always love that move. Catch the blade between the hands. I don't recommend that, folks.
Yeah. And it's not going to cut you out. Yeah. Don't try that at home, by the way. I do not recommend trying that at home. All right. You shouldn't have anybody run at you with a katana anyway. So like, I guess they manifest this spirit out of her finally. And they have this epic battle, him and Shoasugi in the spirit. And, everything ends up fine and everybody lives happily ever after at the end of it, except for the evil ninja spirit. He's gone. And he probably goes to ninja hell or something.
What do you think?
But it was a good movie.
For Sho Kasugi's character, the good guy ninja. What do you think the point was for him to go to that temple and whip everybody's butt in there? What did that mean? I didn't know what that meant, or like how that fit in.
I don't know. I think it was just like to show how badass that everybody watching the movie get a badass scene with Shoasugi beating the crap out of about 10 dudes. I think that's why they did it. I mean, let's be honest. Yeah. This movie was made by Canon Films in the 80s. And the one thing about Canon Films is it was a film production company that was fueled by cocaine and money laundering.
It was two brothers,
it's pretty much
wasn't it?
What they were doing. Yeah, they're two brothers. They're from Israel.
Yeah, they knew how to make some dough.
And I'm just saying the rumors I heard about it was like people like Tarantino talking about they had cocaine going everywhere at these places. These guys, and he would write most of these movies. I can't remember his name. There was two brothers. There's a documentary about Canon Films that you should see, and there was a really golden era for them though. Like when they were actually getting stars like Chuck Norris and guys like that, even though and these ninja movies took off, they even had Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo, big box office hits for them.
Yeah, Michael Dudikoff, he was getting popular. I can't remember the guy's
Charles
name
Bronson.
From Charles Bronson and Clint Eastwood, of course. What's from that movie? You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. The best of the best.
The best of the best.
that dude was getting popular, and another guy played in there, Sean Penn's brother in that movie. I agree, Psycho. The opening was ninja action goodness.
It was it was like one of the greatest. I can't say enough about it. But it's also got a lot of intrigue in it. It doesn't really get boring. Really, there's a lot of like plot holes in it, like we were saying. But look, I can look past that stuff. Look, it's a movie. It's a movie. I can look past that stuff. And,
I loved it when I was a kid.
It's got a pretty good cast. And when I was a kid, I watched this movie like every month at least. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how many times I've watched this movie.
When the cops all finally get the ninja cornered and they basically form a circle around him, and they're all just like boom, 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 boom. I'm like, there's a thing called friendly fire, guys. You want them to all be on one side when you're shooting at the bad guy.
Yeah, you're gonna be shooting at that guy and shooting at the other guy, other police officer behind him. Yeah, it's called friendly fire. Like field of, isn't they call it something? What do they call it? Field of something view, or something like your line of sight.
Field of fire. Field of fire. Yeah. Or they actually you call it the military.
Field of fire. I knew it was something like that because you got to
field of fire in the military. They call it vector of fire.
Yeah.
Like and if you have a fire team in the military, and this is I was not in the military. I have a lot of military friends. They told me this. You guys go out and you're doing an ambush or you're doing an operation or whatever. Each guy is given a vector of fire. Like you cover from here to there. Your other buddy over here covers from there to there. That way, everybody's covered, but no one's pointing at each other. You know. But overall, great, great movie.
But it's a fun movie. You know, when you're a kid, you don't think about stuff. Yeah. A 10-year-old kid doesn't think about like field of fire and police procedure and like what numbers they say on the radio, like 10, 20 or whatever, 415. I learned later, like I knew enough to get me in trouble. Like I knew what a 187 was. You know what I mean? A 5150. I knew what a 5150 is because it was a Van Halen album. So
great album too, in my opinion.
I knew that stuff, but I think it's great. I know that a lot of our friends don't like it, but I'll tell you what. Well, it was their only number one album. It was their only number one album. So I'm sorry, guys.
Talking about Van Halen is like talking about Star Wars stuff or politics almost. People are like Hagar, Rock, and
versus the new. Yeah, it's like OG. It's like people talk about the OG. Like you saw the debate we had on Bruce's show last night about the old school trilogy versus the new trilogy versus the new movies. And but you know what was great about it? You have a lot of toxic fans in Star Wars.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, Kingdom of Nerds. Everybody give him a subscription. If you're not subscribed to him, he's a good guy. Yeah,
great
Kingdom
of
Nerds. But you know what's great about that show last night? Not to get off on a tangent about this, but there's a lot of toxic Star Wars fans out there. There's a lot of toxic Marvel fans out there, in my opinion, and DC fans. But like we had disagreements, but we didn't like, oh no, you're stupid for saying that, right? Bruce was kind of disappointed in us because he would kind of shit all over Revenge of the Sith, but you know, it's okay. We don't have to agree on everything. Yeah, I was shocked
every time
that battle. But hey, I love it, man. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, right? It's just the way it goes. But we're not here to talk about Star Wars. We're talking about America.
You put up
a domination
different movie.
But I guess it's time to rate it. Okay, Jeff, I think it's time to rate it. I'll let you go first. On a scale of 1 to 5 wings, what do you give this movie?
I want to respect the wing. I don't want to just give it. I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5 wings.
Okay. And there you go. Big Jeff gives it 4 out of 5 wings.
Trying to be,
and we'll just leave it there because that's what I'm going to give it to. Yeah, I'll give it 4.5. I want to give it 4.5, but we only got 4.
I almost said that. I almost said 4.5, but I don't think you can do that with your. So, and I want because I'm saving 5 for something, like a rock and roller. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know what the rating system is going to be for the good cinema on Thursday, though. I haven't figured it out yet.
Ooh.
I guess we'll just do thumbs like in honor of Siskel and Ebert. You get 1 thumb or 2 thumbs. But
Yeah.
spoiler alert, I'm probably going to give this one 2 thumbs up coming up. But there you
I'm
go.
gonna
That was Ninja 3.
I want to spring a special request to you though. When the day comes that you decide to review Big Trouble in Little China, I want to be on the panel. if it can be done.
You're more than welcome to be there. You can come. I hope you're there Thursday for the. It can be done. It's all it takes is sending a link. And don't forget tomorrow night at 8 p.m. I'll be interviewing Lady Fantastic. Very nice lady. She knows she's got some pretty good books too. I can't wait to talk to her. She's a good collector and she's a good friend. And she's also a video gamer and she does. And she's a very smart person too. I think she's like a scientist. Yeah,
she's a sculptor too.
That's
a good sculptor.
No, it's Madam. That's Madam. That's a sculptor.
Oh, did I get him?
That's sorry. Madam. I'm talking about Lady Fantastic.
Oh,
she's 8 p.m. on my screen. I'm interviewing Lady Fantastic. Okay, no problem. I'll be interviewing Carolyn. And of course, Thursday, Jeff will be back with us. And I think Madam will be with us for that. We're going to do the first episode of Good Cinema. And we're going to be reviewing Apocalypse Now.
So, nothing like the smell of napalm in the morning.
That's right. You know, one day we dropped a hell bomb, and that smell, that gasoline smell, the whole hill smelled like victory. Yes. Then he goes like, "Oh man, you know what's weird about that scene with Duvall? And we'll talk about this Thursday more." After he says that, he says, "You know, someday this war is going to end," and he walks away like he's sad about it.
He is. War's a
crazy
drug,
to me.
Man. War's a drug.
Yeah. Especially if you're, I guess, calling the shots. Okay, and Aaron's doing don't forget, Aaron's doing a claim show today.
Hey.
I think it's at 6 p.m. Eastern time. 3 p.m. Pacific. Is that right, Aaron? If I'm wrong, please let me know.
Aaron's got some goodies.
Sometimes he does. But we're going to end it there, I guess.
Listing party for his new album pretty quick here, too.
On the 10th, I think.
I believe so.
Okay. Yeah, he said 3 p.m. Pacific. Yeah, I was right. Okay. I thought I was. I was trying to do the math in my head. I got all these West Coast friends. I have to remember the time zones. And then I have it on my phone. Like I can look up Australian time and Great Britain time because I know people in both those countries and I know people in all over the United States. Australia. It's kind of fun, really. That's what I love about this thing. And I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate all you guys showing up and showing out for us in the comments and putting stuff in the chat. Jay,
my apologies to Lady Fantastic and Adam,
Damien, Sleepy Reader, all you guys. Will, thanks, Will. All right, sorry, it's all right. Go ahead. You got anything to add before we go?
Oh no, I was just gonna say apologies to Lady Fantastic and Madam to get. I couldn't see on my screen. I'm outside and there was a little bit of a glare. I couldn't see. I thought it was going to be
all good.
It could be Lady Fantastic.
All right.
Oh, there's a listening party for Aaron's
awesome
new. It'll be a good time.
Yep, and that's going to be at on the 10th at Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific. So be sure to stay tuned for that. And well, I guess that's it for now. I guess we'll just have to do our parting thing. And remember, until next time, true believers, Excelsior.
Come, son of Jarrell! Kneel before Zod! Snitchy boochies.